Thanks, Pam. I think you're lucky today. The room size has saved you from doing some exercise. Unfortunately, that means you have to listen to me for a bit longer. So today I wanted to talk about finding your passion, but for exercise. But part of that is going to be finding your passion for life in general, because most of us don't exercise just for the sake of exercising. Most of you are not passionate about exercise. I might be a bit weird in that I was very passionate about sport. I loved it. And, you know, as an adult, we kind of think, I have to go out and exercise. And a lot of people, when I talk to them about doing some exercise to get healthy, they don't really sound all that excited. But when did that happen? I mean, as a kid, I used to call it play. You know, I never said to Mum, I'm going out to exercise. You know, I just went out the backyard, kick a soccer ball around, play with my friends. And it was fun. I loved it. And in my adult life, it just kind of continued. So why do we think of it as hard work? So long as I'm doing something fun, I love exercise. You know, if I've got the mindset of, I've got to do this to get fit or something, then it then becomes a chore. So if you can find something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy doing, you know, whether it be competitive sport or dancing or whatever, you know, you're going to get into it a lot more because you enjoy it, you're having fun. I also love this quote, that nothing great happens until someone becomes passionate about something. Now, I was looking at this picture last night wondering what on earth I was going to talk about, because there's a lot that could be said about this picture. Some of you will know the story of you know, founders there that created an amazing legacy out of, you know, a son that was born with spina bifida and had to have a whole heap of surgeries. And in order to create a life for their son, they did some amazing things and have created an amazing legacy all around the world. But that's not what came to mind when I saw this picture. I looked at a bunch of people that would do anything to get out there on a field. They play power soccer. They're confined to wheelchairs. But they would do anything to get out there and play in this game and have fun with each other. They're looking forward to that so much. It's that they can't get out and walk. And it made me think of a talk that I heard many, many years ago by a great speaker, and he was talking more about sort of the political things and business things, and talking about the situation in Eastern Europe at the time, and saying, you know, and it was a talk that he gave in Australia, and saying, you know, we have such a lucky country and we're so free to do all these things. And he said, what's the greater shame? The fact that they've got basically the military with their foot on their head, forcing them down, saying you can't do anything, or we have us in Australia free to do whatever we want, and we're not doing it. What is the greater pity? And I saw this and I went, wow, what is the greater pity? People that have got some disabilities and they've got some restrictions, but hey, they get out there and they do something. Or us. I saw you all walking here today. No one seems to have any trouble walking. You don't need me to teach you how to walk. But, you know, if we don't value what we have there and don't do something with our bodies and keep ourselves in great shape, what's the greater shame? That's the same with reading. There was a great book that came out on an education program that I subscribed to, and the author was someone who became blind. Right? But he knew he was becoming blind, and he read so many books before that happened, you know, and then figured out ways to continue reading once he was blind. And he was saying in his book, you know, what's the greater shame? Someone who can't read, or someone who can but refuses to do it. So that's a bit much for today, but that's what popped in my head when I saw it last night. And I think I needed that talk for myself because, you know, this being Christmas, I've taken a little bit of time off on some of the things that I wanted to do, and I just needed some reminding myself. So, hey, that talk was for me. So Pam already sort of mentioned the slight edge, and you know, I might be slightly obsessive compulsive, but I've listened to this. You know, who's read the book? Who's listened to the CD? There's 3 CDs. Who's listened to it 10 times? 50 times? 100 times? I don't know how many times I've listened to that, but it's got to be more than 100. I would get up every single day and put that CD on while I'm making breakfast. Now, I didn't get good at powerlifting. No, I didn't start doing this because I was good at powerlifting. I got good at powerlifting because I was obsessive about doing certain things every single day. Not just for my exercise, but for my mind. I mean, look at me, I'm not someone who you think. You see me in the street, you go, that guy couldn't deadlift 255 kilos. You know, it's not about that. And when I made my comeback, and the last competition, I was 36 years old. And I'm beating kids that are, you know, in their 20s. 36, you're not supposed to be an athlete that's at their peak performance. Right? And to be honest, I was probably training less than most of the people that I beat. Physically, in the gym, training less. But up here, I was probably training harder than all of them. You know, it's all about, it's not just what's happening in your body, it's a whole thing. Which is why the mindset topic which we have today, and we've got an awesome speaker who's also done some amazing things who's going to be speaking on that topic, that is so valuable as well. But this, to go into it, basically this is a diagram from the slide edge, and it basically says the real secret to success is just doing simple little things on a daily basis, or often enough, that over time, they make a massive difference. Problem is, you know, they're really easy to do. Problem is, they're even easier not to do. And 95% of people don't do them. 5% of people do, and you go, wow, how can you deadlift 255 kilos? Because they did it. 10 years of little improvements. You know, that's the difference. Nothing special about me. Any of you could do something like that. You just have to do it. You need to find out why you do it. As an aside, I also did engineering at university, did my PhD in engineering while I was training for the World Juniors. In engineering, we teach us that there's the fundamental laws of thermodynamics, which as a mechanical engineer you need to know that for engines and planes and all these things that have power systems. And they basically say that any system, whether it be a human being or an engine or whatever, tends to disorder if left to its own accord and it does nothing. So in the book The Slight Edge, he talks about the fact that there is no just cruising, staying flat. A lot of people think, yeah, I'm cool, I'm flat, you know, nothing, not going down, not going up. No. There is no flat. You're either going down or you're going up. You're on the upward curve or the downward curve. And the laws of thermodynamics say that if you do nothing, you're tending to disorder and chaos. The laws of thermodynamics also say that the only way to be on that upward curve and to create something, whether it be, you know, muscles, whether it be a change in mindset, whether it be a business, whether it to be a financial result, whether it to be your health, whether it to be a relationship, is you have to apply work on a constant basis. And then you can achieve that. So basically, the Slight Edge is just doing little bits of work every single day, applying it to whatever system it is that you want to get a result in. Easy to do? Easy not to do. Your choice. The other thing is that, you know, I think to be on that upward curve, you really need a goal, as Pam said. I think if you're living life without a goal, you are on the downward curve. You know, you've got no goal, no plan. You're going with the flow. Well, that's not really real flow, but going with the flow is going. Generally, flow happens downhill, right? Water goes downhill when it goes with the flow. To get that water to come uphill, you've got to do some work. So, what is your goal? Now, that's going to be all up to you. Sit down with whoever's coaching and mentoring you to find out what your goal is. Now, I'm not going to go into great detail of that today, but I thought I'd put this picture up here. Some of you might know who it is. It's Lionel Messi. He's the captain of Argentina, plays for Barcelona in Spain, considered by most people the best football player on this planet right now, and possibly of all time. Many of you don't know that when he was 11 years old, he was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. He was already at 11 a very talented football player, or in Australia we call it soccer. He was a very talented football player. He was approached by a number of the big clubs in Argentina. But because of this health problem that he had, his medical bills were going to be about $900 a month. And his parents couldn't afford it, and most of the clubs in Argentina weren't willing to take the risk of taking him on. So he and his family went all the way to Barcelona in Spain and met with Barcelona, which is one of the biggest and wealthiest football clubs in the world. And Barcelona took a risk on this 11-year-old. And they said, we'll pay his medical bills, we'll look after him. And they took him into their youth system. Now that paid off both for Barcelona. He's now worth over £200 million on the transfer market, if any other club wanted to try and buy him. Number one football player in the world. He's won the best player in the world 4 years in a row. No player has ever done that before. And when he was originally told of his condition with his hormones, his greatest fear was, does that mean I won't be able to play football again? And he was so passionate about playing football, but that was all he was worried about. So, what are you passionate about enough to do whatever it is that you need to do to get whatever results it is that you want to get? Because of that condition, he had to inject himself in his leg every single day of his life as an 11-year-old, every single day for 3 years to get the treatment that he needed to grow as a normal person and to play the game that he loved. As I said before, there's lots of different types of exercise that you could do. Not many people have heard of Maslow's hierarchy of exercise. Kind of hidden under his hierarchy of needs somewhere, but I found it somewhere on the internet. Or maybe I made it up, I don't know. But you need to meet yourself where you're at. There's no use going, I want to be Lionel Messi, if you haven't been playing from 5 years of age. And if someone is just sitting on the couch breathing, which is the survival level, then that's great. You're all managing to sit down and breathe right now, so I think you've got that handled. The idea of this is to progress through the levels, so everyone's got that one. The next step is just to do some walking. Now, as I said before, I don't need to teach you how to walk. You walked in, you can walk out. But if you do 10,000 steps a day, what difference will that make to your health? Tomorrow? Nothing. 2 days? Nothing. A week? Not much. You do that for 3 months, it'll probably make a big difference. You do it for 3 years, huge difference. 30 years? People look at you at 30 years plus whatever you are now and go, wow, you're so lucky. How did you like And you're like, yeah, well, I'm real lucky. I just made a constant decision. And it's really that easy. The 10-minute exercise program is a great one that we talked to you about. I was going to take you through some of that. I often do, but you've been saved by the small room size today. I'm actually quite disappointed because I didn't do my exercise this morning. I was looking forward to it. But those of you that felt inspired by this talk, you can go home later and do it. I'll give you some ideas around that. And once you've got the hang, and it's just a good way of just in 10 minutes doing something that's going to get you a good result. Who has 10 minutes in their daily schedule that they could squeeze some exercise in? Yeah, most people. Cool. Who doesn't have 10 minutes? No one. Excellent. So, all of you agree that logically you could do this if you wanted to. So it's up to you to find out, why you would want to do that. And after you've got great results, as Pam said, she started working out with a personal trainer. We've got some great PTs that come to us here that we can recommend. So, whoever you're connected to can recommend someone to you there. The elite athlete, that's not put there because that's really something to aim at, because often that's gone way past what is actually really healthy. That's, just something that's possible. But my journey in powerlifting taught me one thing, that none of us here know what we're really capable of doing. I had no idea. As a skinny kid weighing 56 kilos, if anyone had ever said, Ray, one day you're going to be 67 kilos and deadlift 255, I would have gone, yeah, right, that's some freak you're talking about. I don't know what I was capable of. I'm just human. I figure you're all human too. So, you don't know what you're capable of. Just start something and keep going. and you'll have amazing results. So I just thought I'd remind you that, you've got to do something, but it's not going to happen in a day, but it does happen daily. So it's what you do every single day that makes a difference. The Slight Edge is a great book around that. I heard a CD years ago by John Maxwell, which I hated when I first heard it, which was, the secret of your success is in your daily disciplines. But I prefer the word, it's your daily habits, because that's a knife, I don't like discipline. So the secret of your success is in your daily habits. Thank you.